Finally, after 4 explainer videos, I can get around to doing some actual problem solving. That's where we do the real learning, you know. And the first set of problems are all pretty much the same kind of a question. They say, tell me how to find the number version of this. Some of them are just plugins. I don't even consider this actually calculus because we're not taking a derivative or anything like that, but we can whip through these pretty quick, I think. So the first one asks for the hyperbolic sine of 0. And hyperbolic sine is negative e to the negative x plus e to the x divided by 2. We've talked about that a number of times. So that would be negative e to the negative 0 plus e to the 0 over 2. Well, anything to the 0, which includes negative 0, is 1. So it's going to be negative 1 plus 1 over 2. That's going to be 0. That was easy. How about the second part? Hyperbolic cosine of 0. What can we do there? Well, hyperbolic cosine is e to the negative x plus e to the x over 2. In that case, it's going to be e to the negative 0 plus e to the 0 over 2. Well, that's going to be 1 plus 1. That's 2 over 2. This is going to equal 1. That's pretty straightforward. We're just plugging the values in. A lot of these are going to be like that, but some of them aren't. That's what I'm hoping to get to. Now, tangent hyperbolic of 0, well, of course, that's going to be hyperbolic sine of 0. It's not really a good h. I can't even leave it alone. That's how bad it is. Divided by cosine hyperbolic of 0, and that would be 0 over 1, so that's going to give us 0. That was easy enough also. We just plugged it in. Thank goodness, too, because the explainers were very hard. How about hyperbolic tangent of 1? That's a little different, isn't it? Because I think we know that hyperbolic tangent is hyperbolic sine over hyperbolic cosine, so that would be negative e to the negative x plus e to the x over 2. And then we could divide by the hyperbolic cosine, but that's the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, which is what I would prefer to do here, like this. So of course these cancel. You're going to get negative e to the negative x plus e to the x over e to the negative x plus e to the x. And from there, can we just plug it in and see what we get? That would be negative e to the negative 1 plus e to the 1 over e to the negative 1 plus e to the 1. Is that something we can work with? It might be easier to multiply top and bottom by e over e. And of course, e is e to the 1. So when I multiply that, this is going to add to the exponents here. So we get negative e to the negative 0 plus e squared divided by e to the negative 0 plus e squared. And of course, that means we're going to get negative 1 plus e squared over 1 plus e squared. And I think from there, we're just going to plug it in. And what I got for a number here was about 0.76. That's going to be the answer for that one. And it's important to remember that hyperbolic arctangent or hyperbolic tangent looks like that. I'm going through these fast because you should be able to plug these in. If you went through the explainer videos, these would be a breeze. And they're short videos. You should check them out. They're pretty neato, I have to say myself. So now here's a good one. Hyperbolic sine of the natural log of 2. Well, hyperbolic sine, as we know by now, because you've had to have written it 100 times to keep you from not being bad at it, that would be negative e to the negative ln of 2 plus e to the ln of 2. That's all divided by 2. Well, e to the natural log just reverses course, doesn't it? So what I'm going to get here is negative e. Sorry, that's incorrect, because if I have this as a negative, we could write it as negative 1 over e to the ln of 2. That's how you want to think about that. Plus, of course, this cancels out, so 2. This whole thing divided by 2. So just to clarify this, e to the ln of 2 here would make a 2, so this is going to be negative 1/2 plus 2 over 2. So let's put this into halves here. We'll make that 4 halves. So that'd be 3 halves over 2 over 1. So I'll just multiply by the reciprocal and see if I get the right answer here. My answer for this is 3/4. That should be the right answer. Okay, that one looked a little scary, but it turned out to be not a big deal. Who else have we got on the docket? Hyperbolic sine of 2. Negative e to the negative 2 plus e to the 2 over 2. Well, this is just a plug-in, right? You just do negative 1 over e squared plus e squared, divide the whole thing by 2. So you just plug that in. There's nothing special about that particular one. Should be, I don't know, about 3.6. 3.63 is what I wrote down. Whew, excuse me. How rude. I don't know why I'm yawning. I'm feeling great. Who's next? Hyperbolic cosine of 3. Again, that's kind of the same thing. It's e to the negative 3 plus e to the 3. Divide that by 2. Make this into 1 over e cubed. And just create the numbers for this and solve for it. There's nothing special about that. It should be about 10. I want to say it was about 10.1. Nothing special about that one. The next one, the natural log one, that actually looks like it could be fun. Let's have a look. E to the negative x plus e to the x over 2. We'll rewrite that with the input. So it'd be e to the negative natural log of 3 plus e to the natural log of 3 over 2. Like we talked about before, this is the same as saying 1 over e to the positive natural log of 3. This would cancel, and you just get 3. So we're going to get 1/3 plus 3 over 2, again, because this cancels off, and you just bring the 3 down. So I could write this as 9/3. So we'll say 10/3. This is 2 over 1. We can do times 1 over 2. Give us 10 over 6, so that's going to be 5/3. I believe that's the answer for that one. I'm whipping through them. I told you I would be. This is just a warm-up. Warm-up for the hard ones coming. Zap. Hyperbolic secant. Well, that would be 1 over hyperbolic cosine. Ooh, there's another one. What is that? What is that? So that would be 2 over e to the negative x plus e to the x. I just flipped the fraction upside down. And they want 0 in there, so we're going to get 2 divided by e to the negative 0 plus e to the 0. So that's still going to be 2 over 2. That's going to give us 1. Isn't it? I think so. Should give us 1. Okay, now something interesting. Look at the next problem. This is arc hyperbolic cosine. I don't know if you remember that from explainer video number 4, but I actually derived it, and it wasn't that bad. But it went like this. Natural log of itself plus square root of y squared minus 1. So we put 1 in for that. Ugh. Again, why am I yawning? That's like 4 in a row. ln of 1 plus the square root of 1 squared minus 1. So that's going to be gone. Natural log of 1 is 0. So this is going to be 0. See how it worked out nice? And all you got to do is remember that the natural log of 1 is 0. Gone. Okay, this one you can plug in because it's just like the top ones. You just plug the numbers in. That one's no big deal. That's somewhere around 1.2 or something. And I'm just going to make that go away. It doesn't teach us anything. Now, arc sine hyperbolic is different. So that's going to be negative e to the negative 1. Sorry, that's the actual arc sine hyperbolic. That's going to be natural log of, I want to say it's x, we'll say x because it doesn't matter, plus the square root of x squared plus 1. So we would just plug in 1 for that, so it'd be 1 plus the square root of 1 plus 1. So it'd be the natural log of 1 plus root 2. Then if you want to write it this way, that's totally okay. And the number I got for this is about 0.88. So you see in the first problem set, we're not actually deriving things. We're not doing any real calculus. We're just learning how to plug these values in and get an answer. Run through it quickly, but run through it. It's number 5.